Hello everyone and welcome to the Omega Metroid podcast. My name is Andy Spiteri, joined by Dakota Lasky. Dak, how was your trip abroad to Iceland, my friend?
Hey, how's it going, man? It is, or it was, not it is. I'm back in the States, but yeah, it was a good trip. It was pretty awesome. I can't wait to go back, actually. I did not get to see the Northern Lights, which was a bummer, and some of the island was closed off to us because of the weather. But we got to do a lot of cool stuff, got to do some hiking, see some landmarks and waterfalls, and got to see the countryside, and get to see Reykjavik, which is the capital city, or the major city, and yeah, it was a good time. I was definitely happy to be back, because it was a lot of driving, excuse me, and a lot of sightseeing, and just expenditure of energy. You can tell I'm still kind of tired from it, but and I was jet lagged from a few days afterward. But yeah, it was an awesome trip. I really hope to go back sometime soon. I definitely recommend it to anyone who can make it out there. It's really not, at least from where I'm from in New York, New Jersey, it's not a very long flight at all. And I would like to go back in the summer months as well, because I'm ready for the warm temperatures. It's been cold, and especially freezing there, because it's all flat land. So there's so much wind chill and a ton of wind. It's nothing to stop it. But overall, yeah, it was a great trip. But I'm happy to be back.
That's nice. I saw a couple pictures. Looked like a good and fun time. So yeah, I was happy for you that you got to make it over there. Listen, before we get into our show today and some stuff that we're going to promote, I do want to, spend just a quick second, just, kind of acknowledging what's going on in the world. It's been a tough week. I felt a little bit down this last week, as I'm sure a lot of us have. And part of me always feels a little bit funky talking about Metroid or Zelda, and there's a war in this part of the world, or there's some bad laws being written and stuff like that. So, just wanted to, throw out there for everybody, what's going on with Russia and Ukraine. It's awful stuff. The laws that were passed in Florida and Texas are awful stuff, and it's been a tough go. So I guess if you're able, I think that there's a lot of places that are taking donations, and actually we at Omega have something lined up, hopefully to help some of our friends in the trans community coming up here pretty quick. We're organizing something, but I don't know. I guess I always just kind of feel weird talking about video game stuff, even though at the same time I know people do need a break. They do need some levity, I guess, if you will, and just distraction from all the shenanigans going on in the world. But it's a tough time, and if you can help, that would be awesome. And there's lots of places that you can do that, and hopefully hopefully these pencil dicks like Putin and Ben Shapiro and all the like kind of get karma finds them. So I felt like maybe we should just acknowledge that at the top of this show this week.
Yeah, it's definitely, I feel weird kind of posting about stuff as if it's kind of like regular, nothing's kind of happening, because it's definitely not the case. I know we've both shared a bunch of stuff and tried to amplify different voices and whatnot. So at the end of the day, it's I don't know how to approach it sometimes, because then it's like, well, when is it okay to talk about stuff as if things are normal? But I guess things really are never normal. I just hope that everyone affected finds peace soon, and that things can kind of hopefully be resolved in a lot of different ways. Especially what we're seeing both here domestically and abroad. It really sucks to see, and it also feels I don't know, it sucks to not be able to do much, I guess, from where we're doing it, where we are, so to speak. There's certainly things you can do, but at the same time it's like, well, maybe, I don't know, sometimes you can think of it as like, well, maybe doing the show helps someone kind of deal with what's going on in the world too. So I don't know. There's both sides of the coin.
It's a helpless feeling, at least for me. I'm sure a lot of people agree with that, where it's like, I don't know, like I feel like, we all want to be doing something, but nobody's really sure what to do. So yeah, we just wanted to throw that out there that, we're with everyone in the Ukraine and obviously everyone that was affected by some of those laws that were passed in the States, and we'll have some stuff. Hopefully that can help a little bit, at least some kind of something in the near future. So we got something cooking for that over at Omega. But there's no real great way to transition from that, but I'll try my best here. I've teased it before. I'm going to give it an official date. We have an Omega Metroid Direct on the 3rd of March. So the 5-year anniversary of the Switch is when the very first Omega Metroid Direct is going to take place. We've got a lot of cool announcements to share with you guys, and a couple different projects that we've been working on in the background. So I really hope that everyone listening tunes in and checks it out, because I think that it's going to be the culmination of a lot of months of collaborative hard work by a lot of different people. So I'm excited to release that into the world, even though the world is a little bit messed up right now. Still, I think that it's going to be a great thing for Metroid fans. It's going to be a great thing for people that are fans of our show. So March 3rd, you can check that Omega Direct out, and I'm just going to release it on podcast form, I think. But so yeah, keep it locked for that. That'll be coming, and I'm excited about that.
Well, I was about to ask something. You just said it's going to be in podcast form, so I guess there won't be like puppets or anything like that. It's not going to be one of those kinds of directs.
I mean, we still have time before the direct airs. If I can find someone to make a little Andy and Dak puppet, that would be cool.
On second thought, I don't want that. Now that you kind of vocalize it, I'm I'm okay. I don't need a puppet version of myself.
That would be just charming, I think. But yeah, so that is March 3rd, the Omega Metroid Direct. Keep your eyes peeled for that. Lots of cool announcements to come. Today, we're going back to the well. We're talking about Metroid Dread, but we're going to talk about it from a little bit of a different perspective, and a perspective that we haven't talked about in it feels like a really long time, especially now that the run is over, at least for now, and that is from the Super Smash Bros. Direct, or perspective, rather. So, I mean, it seems like Smash Ultimate is certainly finished for now, although I wouldn't say it's impossible that we see some more Smash Ultimate stuff in the future. We saw a bunch of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe stuff just announced not that long ago, so, I mean, I don't think anything's impossible, especially when you got a game with an install base like that. But you know what? Actually, I'm going to pause right there. Dak, what did you think specifically of the Mario Kart 8 DLC announcement and just generally of that Nintendo Direct? Because Doom and I had a little bit of a disagreement about that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC.
Okay. Well, I thought the Direct it was pretty good, even though there's a lot of stuff in there I didn't really care for. It had the new Mario Strikers game, so really pumped about that. But otherwise, yeah, it was pretty whatever for me. I didn't think it was crazy. The Mario Kart 8 Deluxe or whatever DLC, I mean, I'm always down for more tracks, but as far as I know, it's all new track, or I'm sorry, it's all old tracks.
Old tracks.
And they're not even, from what I saw, even kind of like remade in many ways. Some of them might be, but like I saw, like they kind of look like they're from the mobile Mario Kart game, from like Mario Kart Tour or whatever. They don't have like the new kind of finish that some of the original tracks that were brought back. Like they don't have the same kind of textures and look as nice. But right. I mean, it's Mario Kart, like whatever. I don't know. At the same time, one of the big appeals I think of this new Mario Kart game is it looks really good, especially in motion. So I guess when you are moving in it, maybe you won't notice, but at the same time, you might take you out of it a little bit, or just might not compare. I wouldn't say I'm really excited about it or anything, but it's cool. I'm always down for more Mario Kart tracks. Like that's, we'll see if I end up getting it. I don't know.
Tell me what you think of my pitch here, because I thought that this is actually a pretty solid pitch. So one thing that I think that Nintendo Directs have been sorely missing, the last two Directs, is that, you know how the directs would always start off with like a Smash Bros character reveal, and that was like a hype moment. Even if you didn't love the character, it was still cool to see that kick off the direct. I feel like what would have been and could have been cool is if they kind of replaced Smash Bros character reveals with Mario Kart track reveals. And let's say you have like the Samus pack, and you get like 4 new Metroid like kart stages, or the Zelda pack, and you get that, or like whatever, right? I think that would have been like really cool and really different rather than playing a bunch of old tracks. Like I just think that would have been a lot better, at least for me.
Yeah, well, I guess it's like they still want to not like, I don't know if they want to make completely new content without just outright making a new Mario Kart game. Maybe that's it. Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I do agree that having completely new tracks would be a great idea, and having them from different franchises like would be solid. Because again, another really strong point of Mario Kart 8 is it did bring in like Zelda, it brought in Animal Crossing and all of that. I'm surprised there's been. I mean, I wonder if they'll ever do like a Pokemon kind of crossover, because then you're really getting into crossover territory. And then yeah, Metroid seems like it could certainly happen. But at the same, I don't know. I guess I don't know if it has the same like impact as the new Smash character though. Like, I see what you're saying. It would totally be cool, but like at the same time,
I mean,
like
I agree. I don't think it does either, but I think it's better than opening up a direct with like Monster Hunter DLC or Fire Emblem Warriors 2,
Yeah, but I mean, I know a lot of people are probably pumped for that Monster Hunters and whatnot. I guess it just doesn't feel very Nintendo specific, and it doesn't have the same kind of hype as a Smash. I mean, nothing's really the same as a Smash Bros. Character announcement either. And yeah, Warriors is whatever. They should have started with Strikers. That would have been hype. But I guess if they had like a new pack every time for every direct, that would be cool. But it wouldn't. Yeah, yeah, it's obviously a good idea because it's new tracks rather than old tracks. But at the same time, like, I wonder. I've always wanted this too, like a Mario Kart game that just has every track, like Smash Ultimate style. So if they get to that point and they just have every track ever in the game, I would be totally down for that. So I'm also not against them bringing back the old tracks. I just wish it was kind of had a bit more like polish to it, and it wasn't like, oh, here are a bunch of random tracks, and they all kind of look like they're from a mobile game. Instead of maybe having a more focused kind of announcement,
right.
Or yeah, just bring back the old, or like bring in new tracks would be cool. But yeah, I mean, I'm not against that.
So I thought that could have been cool, but I guess back on track here to what we were talking about in terms of Smash Bros. Is it does look like that is at an end for now with Smash Bros. Ultimate, but it's only a matter of time before the next Smash comes along, and I'm presuming that will be with whatever the next like Nintendo console is, the Switch 2, let's just call it. So
Switch Pro
or the Switch Pro HD new Switch, so whatever. And you can bet that Mario Kart 9 will be on that as well. It's pretty obvious that they're not making a new Mario Kart game on the Switch at this point. But we wanted to kind of delve into the next Smash Bros. Game and the possibilities that Metroid Dread kind of presents it with. And I think that there is a lot of different exciting possibilities that you can incorporate from Metroid Dread to the next Smash Bros. Game. Particularly, I felt in terms of stages. I don't know if you'd agree with this, but I feel like comparative to other franchises that are in Smash, to me, like, there's never been like a really great Metroid stage. There's been some that are like pretty good, and some, like, I think one in particular that's fairly memorable and has like a memorable hook to it. But when I think of like my absolute favorite Smash Bros. Stages, like, no Metroid stages come to mind for me. So, and I think that's where they could really take some cool inspiration from Metroid Dread and work that into the next Smash Bros. Game. So we're gonna kind of run the gambit here of like what could be incorporated from characters to stages to items to bosses to anything else, and we'll bounce some ideas around, and then we'll see where we land up here. I'm excited for this, and I guess Dak, you can kind of kick us off here with why don't we start with characters here, and obviously there's one character that seems like a shoo-in for the next Smash Bros. Game.
Yeah, Kraid, right? Is what you're talking about? You're talking about
Oh, can you imagine?
Yeah.
Oh!
He's too big. That's the thing. It's just that's the problem. He's way too big, so I don't think it would work.
They could do Mini Kraid from Super Metroid, though.
Yeah, but no one who plays Ultimate has played that game.
That's okay. Nobody's played Fire Emblem. That did all right.
What? That's a lot of people play Fire Emblem now, though.
Well, now, yeah. You know, they could bring in Kraid from Splatoon. From
Kraid from
Splatoon 3.
Splatoon.
Did you
Oh,
okay.
the big
If
fish thing. Oh yeah, I
yeah,
saw that tweet you
like
put out.
this is
Yeah,
Kraid's little cousin or something like that is shadowing in Splatoon 3.
yeah. Maybe. It would be a cool new Splatoon character, maybe. Though I don't
Hey,
really.
there you go.
There are probably some better options there, though. Yeah, I would assume you're talking about Raven Beak. It's
Of
probably
course.
the most obvious pick there. Yeah, it's again. It's a shame that we're not getting like any new like Metroid stuff until the next game. But like we're still. I mean, it is nice that we got like Dark Samus and Ridley in the new one. But like we still have like other M Samus and Raven Beak would have been so perfect as like in addition to the current Smash. You don't have to wait that long because I think by the time the next Smash comes out, like it might be another like completely different character, or maybe it'll be Silex or something like that. Um, and he also kind of came out like too late to kind of get involved in the last DLC run. Though I can understand people would have been probably a bit miffed, I guess, if the last DLC character was Ravenbeak and not some crazy third-party character. So, as much as I would want Ravenbeak over Sora, or really anyone over Sora, I know a lot of people would probably have thought otherwise. But yeah, Ravenbeak is pretty like the clear front runner here to be added to Smash. Such a cool character and is like the iconic new character addition to the most recent game of the franchise.
Yeah, I agree. I think that like you have so many like potential smash worthy moves that this guy could have. Like you could almost do like a similar type of like charge up shot for like your regular B attack where like he has like his own version of the laser beam and like it can fire out like that big impactful laser that he fires when you're fighting him. I think that his up B moves could be pretty cool. Like there's a version in the fight with Ravenbeak where like he's kind of doing his own little shine spark, and I think that would be like so sick to have like him do that as his up B, which also serves as a recovery. I think that you could give this guy too like a third jump because he's got those big badass wings. But yeah, like I think that you could probably incorporate his I don't know, his turret or whatever it is into a side B, and maybe he can just sit still and chain gun his way around that. Down B could maybe be his. I mean, there's so many options for a fantastic moveset for this guy, and he just like he just seems so natural for Smash. Like Dark Samus is great as a concept, but like the character itself is a little bit lacking, I find. And then after that, you've got three unique Metroid characters, but Samus herself could also use a little bit of a facelift, I feel like. So, and we'll get into that in a second. But yeah, I just feel like Ravenbeak is like such an obvious choice for me for the next Smash Bros. Game. He's big, he's imposing, he's literally the type of character that looks like he's built for Smash because he has like a unique look. He has a somewhat unique build where he's a little bit of a bigger, heavier character, but he can also fly. And you got just an absolute ton of ready-made moves ready to go for him. So I think that like even if Metroid Dread is I don't know, let's say 5 years old by the time that the next Smash Bros. Game comes out, which seems like a long time, I think that the chances of him getting in aren't actually like completely awful. I think I could see that happening.
Yeah, it's weird because I mean it took Dark Samus mad long to get into Smash, but the only reason she kind of got in was the only reason she got in though is because she's a Samus clone, So
Yeah.
like they just ended up going all out with that, and then like Ridley was a obvious choice for a long time, but at the same time he's also has all different kinds of variations, in terms of like skins. Then you have the Meta Ridley version again, took a long time for that to get in. So yeah, I don't think it's necessarily out of the realm of possibility. And at that point, Ravenbeak will be around long enough where, like, if the development of a new Smash game starts, like, that character definitely exists, and they might not be, like, trying to include a character from a new Metroid game that might not be out yet or might also be in development at the same time. So it could happen. I was actually thinking of a Ravenbeak very much so like other DLC characters, and he would have probably some kind of meter or some kind of, like gimmick or mechanic like that. I was thinking he would, like in the boss battle, he wouldn't have his wings available to him at all times. Kind of like Sephiroth in Ultimate, where like
Yeah.
he hits that mode and then he goes into One Winged Angel and he gets an extra jump and he gets the wing and whatnot. I was thinking would be really cool is you have like two completely different characters. You have, he doesn't have the wing at the beginning, like before his like he hits a certain percent or his meter gets charged or whatever it is, and he's kind of really fast on the ground and slower in the air, which is kind of how Ridley works at the moment. But then when you hit that mode and you get the Chozo wing mode, then all of a sudden he gets a bunch of new jumps, but he's also instead faster in the air and slower on the ground, and kind of becomes a completely different character. He might even have different projectiles at that point, like in the first phase or earlier phase, he has that like big slow moving orb he could shoot, but then like later he's not really using it that much or really at all in the later phases when he's flying around in the air. His up B could change as well. I mean, you mentioned that the Shine Spark thing, which is very, very reminiscent of Pikachu's up B. You could have it the same move.
Yeah, kind of, eh? Yeah.
Yeah, just pretty much jump around like a 3-point or 3 like input kind of move. But then when he hits the new mode, he wouldn't have that anymore. He would have some kind of, aerial attack or like whatever it is that would go along with him having wings. I think that would be a really interesting way to incorporate him into the game instead of just having him have access to all of that stuff, and also would also allow the developers to include more of his moves from the game by giving him different move sets at different kind of modes that he's in. It would be like a forced multi-character, kind of like you have Pyra and Mithra, but you can't change on the fly. You kind of just like you're forced into that new mode. And of course, like Sephiroth, like I mentioned, that'd be a really cool way to incorporate him, and it would fit into that like he's a boss kind of thing where like you're fighting him and he changes and you go into different phases as he gets, takes more damage. So that's how I would incorporate him into the game.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I'm thinking, what do you think this guy's final smash would be?
Ooh, see,
I don't know. Like, does he bust out that one big move in the game? Maybe like maybe that sun thing that he summons up. Actually, that could be a decent final smash.
Yeah, there's that, and then there's one portion in the boss battle where the camera turns and he like is firing his huge laser, but then he swings his arm cannon while it's still firing, and it's like a laser sword almost. I could see that being a final smash for sure. You hit the button and then he like uses the laser and he swings with it and he kind of hits you, and then it goes into like one of those cinematics or whatever it is. Or maybe it would be kind of like Samus's final smash where she has the big like beam, but then at the end maybe he has like the beam swipe. It's kind of like a 2-hit move. I think that would be maybe not likely, but I could see that working pretty well.
Yeah, if you really wanted to get wild, how about this? You could do, those final smashes where like you just tap B and you trap someone and it goes to like a complete cinematic, like the the Captain Falcon one.
Yeah,
you could do that, and like all of a sudden you could have like 8 of those Chozo spear soldiers just beating this mofo up. Like I think that would be cool too.
I'm honestly, I didn't like that they changed so many of the final smashes to like cinematic, like just hit confirm cinematic super. Just is kind of boring to me. Like one of the things I loved about when they first added the final smashes in Brawl is that a lot of them you had agency over your character and you can move around and do all kinds of stuff, or at least like you activate something and you still can kind of move around. And some of them were cinematic or were kind of just like one touch, kill confirms or whatever it is, but there were a lot more. It felt like there was more diversity. And then by Ultimate, it just like everyone just has, they hit you and there's a cutscene that plays. I'm like, okay, that's cool, but like it doesn't, like Donkey Kong's, for example, is a really cool like cutscene, but then it kind of gets old when you hit it all the time. And even though his Brawl final smash was also kind of weird and lame, if they made it cooler and made it work better, I think it would have been more interesting. Or like I think even they changed like Wario Man. That's just like a cutscene now.
That was one, and Pikachu is one that I was thinking. I agree with you, actually. I really like that you could like control Yoshi and control Pikachu.
Yeah.
It makes it a little bit less, like the cinematics are certainly cool, don't get me wrong, but I actually agree with what you're saying, where I did like having control of like, all right, buddy, I got my thunder tackle or whatever it is, and I'm coming for you. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. But yeah, I don't know. I think like he is obviously the guy that comes to mind when you're thinking about characters that could be from Metroid Dread and Smash. But I will raise you this too. I think that another character that would be built for Smash Bros is the E.M.M.I. And I think that you could kind of make like a character that was an amalgamation of all of the different Emmys in there, which actually opens up like a lot of different move possibilities. So, for example, you could have like a side B move that incorporates the yellow Emmy and like maybe it's a speed dash. Your up B could be like your ice missile, or I don't know, like whatever, right? Like you could incorporate the ice missile, you can incorporate the wave beam, you could incorporate the power bomb if you wanted. I think that there's a lot of versatility if you kind of combined all of these elements into one different character. And like, man, your final smash could just be, I know that we talked about not loving the cinematics, but dude, like, you final smash next to someone and you see like the E.M.M.I cutscene from Metroid Dread where it just stabs you right in the face, and maybe it does that and then sends a person flying off stage. I think that would be great. And it again. It's like, I think that what we really need in Smash Bros. Characters, like now more than ever, because there's so many, is characters that are different. And, I don't think that there's a whole lot of other giant lethal robots in Smash. I know that we got Wally in there.
We have Rob, bro. Yeah. Rob is the most lethal large robot that you need in Smash. He's a menace. I don't know if I want two of those.
We could. I think that the E.M.M.I would be like a really like cool character, and you've got the ready-made like different skins and stuff too that could correspond with the different like E.M.M.Is that you see in the game. So I think that it would actually be like a super solid choice for a character.
Yeah, actually, when you first said E.M.M.I, I was like, I don't know if I'm really particularly interested in having the E.M.M.I just because it's like a character with no personality. It's just like a robot. Like even Rob has some kind of a little bit of personality. It's a robot. But the more you described it, yeah, it would be really cool because you could incorporate more of, like, if they don't want to change Samus too much, you kind of get to incorporate more of Samus's arsenal in a way into the game. And you do have all those different skin options, and it would be a very cool and menacing character. I mean, I obviously thought E.M.M.I would just be like a straight up boss kind of in Smash, but yeah, that would actually, you've convinced me that E.M.M.I would be pretty cool. I think, and also, yes, I agree that if any character would still have a cinematic Final Smash, the E.M.M.I one just makes the most sense. Like, you literally just do it, like you said, exactly like it is in Dread. Maybe even have it go to, like, the game over screen or whatever, and then it breaks away back to the game and the character flies off. And, like, and maybe it would have the counter there, like, if you hit the Final Smash multiple times, it would show, like, how many times the enemy has been hit or something, which is something Dread should have. Yeah, that would be really cool. I'd be down for that.
I think that upon further investigation, like, I kind of agreed with you. I was like, well, there's really only one option for Metroid Dread characters for the next playable character in Smash. But, look at it a little bit closer. I think that the E.M.M.I could be kind of cool. But I do think that if the E.M.M.I is not a playable character, and I don't think it will be, there are certainly opportunities to use the E.M.M.I in other ways in Smash Bros. Game. Before we get there, I feel like that's pretty much it for characters like from Metroid Dread that have a chance of making the next Smash game. We've kind of talked a little bit before about different ways that they could upgrade Samus's arsenal. And I think that there are like definitely a lot of opportunities for that. Like, she still uses her missile as her side B. I think you could replace that with the storm missile or the ice missile or something. The charge is just a regular charge shot. So, I mean, that's kind of, it is what it is. That's fine. That can stay. The bomb, I feel like, could be completely replaced. Even if they had like a power bomb or they could make it a cross bomb, something to make that down B a little bit cooler. And the screw attack is mostly fine as well, although, I don't know, maybe they can make it look a little bit more flashy. I would love to see Samus get a fresh Final Smash and like just go full Metroid. That would be so awesome if that happened. And you got to give us the Dread suit as a costume in the next Smash.
Well, even before you go there, I would actually, because you mentioned them, I think the Chozo Warriors would have a really cool, or be a really cool addition to Smash. Just like a really raw, like, physical character, staff character. There really aren't any of those in Smash. It's like, so I think there's an opportunity. You can even have the shield there. Pretty, like, I wouldn't think it would be a very complex character, but I think it would work really well in Smash. Definitely not likely, but it would still work. Regarding Samus, yeah, definitely. I think Samus needs an update. Even, like, I really don't think that we would see such a significant change up from Samus. I mean, all the original 12 characters are pretty much exactly as they've been for the longest time, and really we've seen very small changes like to Mario or to Link or to Luigi, but otherwise really haven't seen too much. I would like to see at least one or two new moves or something like that, like just give her a new side B or give her a different grab or something, like give her the melee counter somehow, just a little bit. Like if you're not going to go full bore and just like completely change her kit, which would be cool, but I don't think would ever happen, it gotta at least give her some, like one or two new things.
Yeah.
Also, aside from that, I really think you gotta incorporate like the new Shine Spark or Speed Booster, like some, like give her, like, well, not the new Shine Spark, but the new Speed Boost feature. Like maybe if Samus, like you're playing as Samus and you just like over time, the more you like run on the ground, you eventually build it up or something. Like it doesn't have to be exactly accurate to Metroid, because who runs in a straight line on the ground for long enough for that to even happen in Smash? But like maybe just like counting up the steps she takes and eventually giving that option to the player and like giving her kind of like an enhanced dash attack or something like that. Like just something unique to her that would incorporate Dread but also wouldn't like completely change things and make her a completely new character, is which again I wouldn't be against that. I think that would be a nice like smaller thing that would still be significant and maybe not even too small, but it wouldn't be like a huge overhaul, sorry, in terms of her kit. I think that'd be a really cool thing, and it would be another nod to Dread. And then, yeah, you got to give her the Dread suit and the watermelon suit as well.
Yeah, totally. I feel like maybe the Shine Spark could be like, maybe it could just
the Shine Spark
the Screw
too.
Attack like that. I think that could work if it was like, because then you could do it like the character is escaping me, but like there's I think it's Mewtwo actually that I'm thinking of, has like a teleport where like you can basically make it any direction. And obviously it's a recover move, but like I think that you could incorporate that with like with Samus, make her up be a Shine Spark, and like you just have the ability to go any direction. That'd be cool. I think that would be a welcome change. If I had to pick like absolutely one thing, I think I would change her down B and just at least make it cross bombs or like something. That bomb that she has in Smash is just like so lame. I mean, the Smash series has been around for like 23 years, and I think I've used that down B bomb like 3 times in my life. It's just, might as well not even be there. So that's what I would change.
I still want them to do what was done in Project M, which was give her the ability to swap beams and have that as just make that her down B, just make a beam swap or something like that, or missile swap or something like that. Like that was such a cool idea back in PM, and I'm surprised it really never made its way to Smash.
So one place that I think that Metroid Dread can absolutely deliver when it comes to the next Smash Bros. Game is stages. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if you agree with my assessment or not about Metroid stages, but I feel like there's never been a really great one. There have been some ones that had like, oh, okay.
Totally disagree.
I feel like there's been some ones that had some interesting ideas, but they just didn't really pan out. And I feel like there's been some ones that are like super solid, and that's fine, but there's nothing like spectacular about them, I guess. I think that like, man, the most obvious stage for me in the next Smash game is the E.M.M.I zone. And like, imagine like you have a stage, and let's just say that it is half as big as that ridiculous Kirby stage. That's like this ginormous stage. But like, I'm thinking a stage that has like a couple different levels that you can run on, and then like, you know, every now and then the alarm will go off and E.M.M.I will pop out and like completely obliterate anyone that happens to be by it. Kind of like how Newport City has the, what's that thing called, the Chimera or something like that?
Chimera, yeah.
That guy kind of pops out and messes you up if you're too close to him. I think that could be a really wicked use of the E.M.M.I in the next Smash Bros. Game. And I think that like, man, you add that sense of danger to the stage, and you have like a bunch of different spots where like the E.M.M.I can come out of anywhere. I think that would be like a super solid stage.
Yeah, that was actually right what I had written down. E.M.M.I zone has to be in there. That's like the iconic new area and kind of area in Dread, and it's one that you can remember the name of easily, unlike everything else in the game. So yeah, 100%. This is the obvious one. You could have, maybe you could either do it where like it has hard ceilings and it just like a crazy like ricochet fest, or you give it, fall through and like pass through platforms, and you can make it like, yeah, multi kind of stage area, kind of like a frozen portion of like Icicle Mountain from Melee or something like that. You just have all these different levels you're jumping up and down to. A more chaotic there's that one stage, I forget which Smash it's from, where it's just like a flat, maybe like Tomodachi Life or whatever it is. It's just flat like platforms all stacked on top of each other. But this one would have, obviously like the different areas and routes of like an E.M.M.I stage or an E.M.M.I zone. And then, yeah, you have the E.M.M.I show up, and it could literally work just like it is in Dread. Like, characters are running around fighting each other, get spotted by the E.M.M.I, they get chased down. You could try to get spotted by an E.M.M.I and then have it chase you and try and peel it over and pull it over to another fighter, and then it picks up on that one and it chases your opponent. Like, yeah, that would 100% work. And it would be a Metroid stage that doesn't have, like, lava or something, which so many of them do, or acid or whatever it is. So it would be a nice change of pace.
Yeah, I think that this stage is like just an absolute no-brainer. And like, I just, man, the possibilities are very exciting to me. I was gonna say that like the one thing about the E.M.M.I zone, but this doesn't even equate to Smash, but in Metroid Dread, you have kind of a stillness to it and a lack of sound, which obviously doesn't translate over to Super Smash Bros. But I mean, you could just get those rock and Metroid themes in there, amp up the sense of danger. I mean, that would be fantastic. This to me is definitely the most obvious stage, and I have a couple others, but yeah, I think that by the fact that we both had this is clearly the direction that Nintendo probably should, and I bet you that they do go. I feel pretty confident that an E.M.M.I stage or an E.M.M.I zone is going to be in the next Smash Bros. Game.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I actually think it would work without like an other Metroid music on it. I mean, you have, for example, if you remember the Wario stage, Gamer. That's a stage that doesn't have any music. It just has like creepy sound effects, and I think that would work for this. Like, not every Smash stage has to have like crazy bombastic music or whatever it is. I mean,
I guess you can probably choose too in the next game. So if you want to have like the creepy silence, you can have that. But if you also want to listen to Brinstar rocking in the background, you could do that too.
Right? Yeah, I'm just saying it should definitely have like a default kind of soundtrack or background music where it's just what you get in Dread, and it's really not much at all. And then, yeah, obviously you'd have the opportunity to put the other Metroid music there. Having that, I think, would still work. So would totally be down for that to kind of be preserved from Dread. It doesn't necessarily have to have music. You can choose to do so and add it. But otherwise, having it kind of reflect how it is in Dread would be really cool to fight on, I think.
So another place that I think would make an interesting stage, although I don't have any like special gameplay hooks for it necessarily, versus rather I just like would like to look at the imagery. I think that you could have E.M.M.I as a stage, and for anyone unfamiliar, E.M.M.I is where kind of the secret of ZDR lies, and that's where the X are locked up. I found it, and I still find it a little bit odd that for whatever reason, Smash just like completely glossed over Metroid Fusion in terms of stages. So I think that like you could kind of retcon that in a way by having E.M.M.I as a stage, because while it is a Metroid Dread stage, it's very clearly influenced by Metroid Fusion. So like you could have the X flying in the background. Maybe if you wanted to get a little bit more interactive, you could have Core X pop up in the stage, and like you could just have to bash them away before you continue on with your fight or whatever. But I do think that it would be a good opportunity just to have some kind of stage where like there could be some reference or visuals to the X, because I think that was a little bit of a missed opportunity from, I guess that would have been Brawl was the first game post Metroid Fusion to release, and it always was strange to me that we never got that, but I think that E.M.M.I could be a cool place.
Well, again, another thing that I wrote down and you put as well, I 100% agree. Not only on E.M.M.I being a good stage, you have the X flying around, and it's really like aesthetically such an awesome area to look at. But yeah, Fusion got snubbed. I mean, a bunch of Metroid games did as well. Hunters just got trophies really, but Fusion really should have some kind of representation. I would be okay with it kind of somehow indirectly getting it through Dread. But yeah, I mean, there isn't even like an SAX kind of skin, having maybe just a Samus with like dead eyes looking through or something like that. I don't know. I guess it wouldn't translate too well to Smash in that case. But yeah, Elon would be a good like spot to kind of fulfill both of those things, like having Dread representation and in a way kind of fusion representation. Really awesome area of the game, and you can have a bunch of different interactables. The Core X is a good idea. I was actually thinking of the X could be used a different way, but also on the stage too, and maybe like flying around, you can pick them up and get your health refilled or whatever it is. They have like flying health refills that move around and kind of get away from you or get closer and towards you and fly around and whatnot like they do in Metroid. That would be perfect. You could have like a bunch of them flying around in the background. Yeah, really awesome area, and I think would work really well. And speaking of areas that would also look really cool and would just be awesome to fight on, even if they're not like super complex in any way, but Iterash is just, I think, and also a pretty obvious pick in terms of places that should be represented in Smash, especially, the portion of where you fight Raven Beak on. You just have that like huge skybox in the background with the clouds, and you have these huge statues and banners overlooking you. You have the throne right in the back. It could be a pretty simple stage, just maybe have like not like one platform in the middle, or maybe like kind of be like Kalos Pokemon League. We have like two platforms on the side. You can maybe jump on the statues or the bases of the statues. Otherwise, kind of have a flat stage. But aesthetically, this area would be so sick and would be a great home stage for Raven Beak.
Yeah, I agree. That I was thinking of that place as well. And again, yeah, like you said, not really like a stage with a hook or anything like that, but just a nice stage, cool visuals, and it would make a perfect stage for Raven Beak. So yeah, that would be cool. I don't know that there's like another like area for Metroid Dread that really makes sense for a boss location. Like, I feel like we have a million fire locations for Metroid stages already. So Kataris is out. Arteria is in fact, like all of them I feel like are like they're all fine areas, but I don't know that either one of them stands above the others as like an area where it's like, wow, this particular section could be like a really cool and engaging part of it could work well in Smash. So I think that, I mean, certainly the E.M.M.I zone is like numero uno, and then Iterash and Elon I feel like also make a lot of sense.
Yeah,
but hey, maybe we're not thinking of something.
I think that's the kind of an issue just with Dread, is that a lot of the areas just don't necessarily, like, by looking at them you wouldn't be like, oh, this is from Dread. In some ways, like, yeah, you have kind of like fire, generic fire or watery or icy areas or whatever, and the areas that are very much they're from Dread. I think we kind of named already, though. There's also, I mean, maybe not, because there's also Ferenia. You could maybe do something from Ferenia that's kind of similar to Elon. Maybe the experiment Z57 or whatever area, like the big lava drill or siphon, and having that guy kind of just crawl around and swipe around at the stage. That could be cool. Yeah.
I don't know if I can do another fire stage for Metroid.
Yeah, that's
true. I feel
true.
like we got so many of those already.
That's true. Yeah. Or maybe like the Corpius boss stage area with like you have those.
Yeah, you know what? Okay.
The tree in the background with like the half sunken statue, and you have, the water,
the blood mist on the ground.
Yeah, like that would be a cool area. There's as much as there are some kind of more generic areas in Dread, I will say there are a number of specific, iconic, or recognizable, maybe is a better word, to Dread, and more reminiscent of Dread and more specific to that. So I could say those areas might also be cool. I'm not sure what the gimmick would be, but would definitely be plausible.
The only other thing I have, although this is probably part of the E.M.M.I zone, is like the central unit where like not Mother Brain, but I mean basically Mother Brain shows up and there's all the Rinkas and the turrets firing at you. But that could probably be worked into the E.M.M.I zone stage somehow. So yeah, in terms of items, I was actually kind of drawn a blank about what we could use that isn't in Smash already. So I wonder if you thought of any like cool specific like Dread items.
Yeah, I actually have a bunch. First off, the X Parasite itself, I think, would just be a cool item that wouldn't be in like an activatable item. It would kind of be like the Smash Ball. It just shows up on the field and would be, would fly around, and you could pick it up for healing or whatever it is. You mentioned the central unit. I think the central units would be cool assist trophies. You have that opportunity there to incorporate them as assist trophies. Same with the Core X, another really cool assist trophy that could kind of float around near, an opponent that they've used it on, or everyone else that's on the field, and you gotta have to dodge it and attack it, and just like you would any others or many other assist trophies. Or actually, so a lot of assist trophies actually you can attack, as far as I'm aware. I've admittedly not played with assist trophies very often, but maybe this could be one where you do like fight back a little bit. At least you could shoot it and it would bounce around and stray away from you. So those would be really cool assist trophies. In terms of regular items, though, I think the flash shift would probably be a good pickup. I don't know how you would incorporate it as like a pickup and like what it would look like, but you get it, and then every character, just like when someone picks up the screw attack, their jump is replaced with the screw attack. Maybe they, when they air dodge in the air with having picked up the flash shift, they get the actual the air dash instead of an air dodge. So that could be a really cool item. I think that would probably be the one that would work the best in Smash. It works really well with like on a 2D plane, because Dread's also in a 2D plane, and it also contributes to the movement of the characters. It isn't just like something you pop and it does something. Like it would change how you play it, so it would be unique in that facet. And yeah, it would move around with like the air dodge rather than just your jump or something, so you could still jump if you want to. So I think that would be really cool. That sounds pretty good. Aside from that,
I wonder, how about this, though? What if, like, for an item, you could get, like, the Omega Cannon or something? Kind of like, how Kirby has that three item gimmick where you have to collect all 3 pieces. Like, imagine you collect a brain, and you collect, 4 pieces of brain or something like that fall down, and then when you have it, you got your Omega Cannon, and, like, pow! That could be cool. Although, I guess it's kind of similar to the Kirby item in a sense, but I think that'd be cool. Actually, I really like what you said about the X-Parasite, although I think I would make the X-Parasite a assist trophy.
Okay, yeah, that would also work. So I was thinking like the X-Parasite be an item and the Core X be an assist trophy, but I would also see them be an assist trophy. I just think, I don't know how they would incorporate it, because like you pop the assist trophy and then like, it's not like, what would it wouldn't really attack. Would it attack something, I guess? Maybe you get like the frozen X-Parasites and they damage stuff when they attack them. Or maybe it just does damage to opponents that aren't you, and if you touch them, it heals you. If it touches someone else, it does damage. That could work. I could see that.
I got an idea. What about this? You have an X-Parasite as an assist trophy, and you throw it, and it kind of absorbs your nearest opponent. And you know how Ditto in Smash Bros makes like a GUI version of whatever character that it has?
Yeah.
Maybe you can do something similar with the X, where it's like kind of a copy of a fighter, but it's just like it's just fighting this guy. So like let's say that it copies Donkey Kong. You have like an X-Parasite version of Donkey Kong, and like now you and this X-Parasite Donkey Kong are both beating up the real Donkey Kong. That could be cool.
I like that idea. That'd be cool. Maybe to even make it more like the X-Parasite. Maybe you hit the X-Parasite assist trophy and it flies around for like a limited amount of time, and then you have to like get a kill in that window, and then if you kill something, the X-Parasite will go over and just like in Metroid, and just like in Metroid Fusion, and it'll go over and in Dread as well, and make a copy from like the downed, or like the off that death, I guess. Even though you get kind of, because at the same time though, Smash characters fly off the screen, so I'm not sure how it would work, but like it could just get activated by that. Like it would be, instead of just like immediately making the clone, you have to get a kill in that time, and then the clone will be made. So it's kind of like Metroid. That could be cool. But yeah, I like the idea of creating like a character you can copy someone and then fight against them. That would be really cool. I like that. I would say the only thing I'd maybe add is add the storm missiles. Just like give everyone like an attack that just like hits all the other characters nearby and just like shoots missiles off from them. That might be a cool addition as well.
Yeah, I think that could be cool. Maybe actually no, I guess that wouldn't work. I was gonna say maybe some of the Aeon abilities, although the ones I was thinking of aren't actually from Metroid Dread. Let's talk about bosses here, because I think that's been like a pretty fun part of past Smash Bros. Games. I guess they didn't really do it in a similar way. Well, that's not true. They did have a ton of bosses in Smash Ultimate. What am I talking about? So I do think that there is a couple cool opportunities for some bosses in Metroid Dread. I would say that if the E.M.M.I is not a playable character, that like an E.M.M.I should absolutely be a boss, even if it's going to be included as part of the stage. I just think that, like, if you have a story mode, and like, man, that'd be cool to fight that E.M.M.I off. Like, I just think that that would be great. You know, we fought Ridley before in the past, and that was awesome. But I think that the E.M.M.I would be a really engaging like boss fight, and if not the E.M.M.I, I think that you could probably throw in who you were talking about earlier, the Chozo Warriors, because I really think that like the next Smash Bros game is gonna have Raven Beak. I believe that. So this would be an opportunity to have like a Metroid boss, but something that's not Raven Beak, because you know you've got your big boss in the game, but maybe something that's similar enough so that it wouldn't take like a ton of coding to make. And I'm just stretching here, but like maybe this boss is somewhat similar to Raven Beak, but different enough that it feels unique. So I think that that could be a good one. But I mean, man, it would be so awesome if you could just fight Big Daddy Kraid in the next Smash Bros game. I mean, we fought Ridley a bunch of times before. We've seen Kraid in the background of Brinstar Depths for forever. I think it'd be cool to fight Kraid.
Yeah, I agree. I have a bunch of similar feelings as well. I mean, ultimately, I feel like, no pun intended, but Ultimate didn't do like. I wish I'd done more with bosses. Like, it only added a few new bosses. Most of the bosses are from the previous games. Like, you have, like, Dracula was added. Rathalos was a cool add. Marks from Kirby was a really cool add. But other than that, like, there aren't really any new bosses that I can remember. It's like the Brawl subspace bosses.
I gotta throw out Ganon in there. I love seeing Ocarina of Time Ganon in there.
Yeah, that's true. Ocarina of Time Ganon is also cool. But that character was also in Smash already as Ganon's final Smash. So I believe. Yeah, there's a lot more they could have done. I wish we'd. I mean, I still miss Subspace, and I wish like we'd get like a new Subspace with all the characters we have now. It's unfortunate we don't have that. World of Light pales in comparison. I 100% agree. Kraid would be a really cool addition. You add Kraid. If the E.M.M.Is aren't a character, a boss for sure. I think Corpius is a pretty awesome add for a boss, just because they're a really cool boss, fighter or boss character. You'd have like, these really long range attacks. You have the invisibility, and then you could even have it, include that stage we mentioned earlier. That'd be really cool. And it's a pretty memorable boss, because it's like the first one everyone saw from Dread. Even people that probably haven't played Dread or have no intention of playing Dread probably have saw like maybe the first gameplay or the trailer or whatever, and Corpius was in that. So definitely like one of the, if other than Raven Beak, one of the more memorable and noticeable, I guess, and recognizable bosses from Metroid Dread, and a really cool design. Aside from those, I really think Raven Beak X would be a sick add as a boss. Because especially if you have Raven Beak as a fighter, to have Raven Beak X in there, because you also get a little bit of Kraid, thrown in there, because it's like made of Kraid as well. But it's a really crazy boss design, and you just plop that on one side of the stage and have, this huge fight with the Raven Beak X would be absolutely, absolutely sick.
Yeah, I can get behind that. That would be really cool. That's actually a pretty exciting combination. I wish that we would have learned a little bit more about that in the actual Metroid Dread game. I know I'm going on a tangent, but man, that Kraid X and Raven Beak X, I wish we would have got to explore that monstrosity a little bit further. But yeah, actually, Corpius is a good one. I think that because he was marketed as much as he was in the lead up to Metroid Dread, maybe that even makes a little bit more sense than even the E.M.M.I would, really. So yeah, I can totally get behind that. But yeah, Raven Beak X, whew, that would be awesome. Maybe that could be Raven Beak's final smash. He just turns into that big guy.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to say that, and you didn't mention it. I was like, okay, cool, I'll keep saving it for bosses. But yeah, you have, if anything, you can just use Raven Beak X as either most likely a cutscene kind of boss for Raven Beak, which would work really well. Though I will say, though, I think the E.M.M.Is are still a pretty go-to choice for a boss if they're not going to be a stage hazard. I will say, like, as much as I, said a lot about Corpius. The E.M.M.I is still like by far the most recognizable enemy from Metroid Dread, and even if they're not like a true boss in a sense, they are boss characters in Metroid Dread. So I think they are the most recognizable bosses. So I think you got to have... I don't think the E.M.M.I would happen as a fighter. I really don't. But I do think that getting like the E.M.M.I zone as a stage with an E.M.M.I stage hazard or just an E.M.M.I boss for the single player campaign is very likely and would probably be the route they go.
I agree with you, actually. I think that it's almost... If I were to say put a percentage on E.M.M.I being like a playable character, I don't know, 15% chance maybe. But if you asked me to put a percentage on the E.M.M.I showing up in some form or fashion in the next Smash, I would say damn near 100. Like between a stage hazard, between a boss, between an assist trophy, between a character, I think that it's coming. I really think that E.M.M.I is coming. So
absolutely,
yeah, that could be a good way. Last thing before we get out of here too, stuff that they could incorporate from Metroid Dread is, I know that the soundtrack isn't maybe as strong as a lot of other games in the series, but I do think that there definitely are some cool tunes that they could incorporate from there. Specifically, we talked about the E.M.M.I theme from earlier. That might make kind of an eerie setting for the E.M.M.I zone stage if it was just like the quiet, like little beeps and bops and drips or whatever it is that you hear in the background. I think that the Ferenia theme, which is the theme that you hear in the trailer, would be like really cool if they could like maybe like make a rocking version of that would be awesome. And the Arteria theme, I think that again, you give it a remix and maybe you give it a little bit of punch, a little bit of spice, and that could be a really solid track that is kind of one of those classic Metroid like rock opera tracks that I love so much in the series. So I think that there is some pretty good opportunity for Metroid Dread music to make its way over.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even have a section of my notes for for Dread music. I didn't even think about that. I would assume they would put something from Dread in the next Smash in terms of music, but I honestly didn't even write that down because I couldn't think of anything that I would really like. Oh, I need this in the game. Because
I'm not gonna lie to you either. Neither did I, but we talked about music earlier, and I was like, all right, I'll think of some tracks. But you know what? I do think that the Ferenia track is pretty good. I think that the Arteria track is pretty good, and that quiet E.M.M.I zone track I think could be quite cool.
Yeah, I think that's the one that would be the most like needed for me.
All right. Anything else that you can think of for Metroid Dread that would make a good addition to Smash before we get out of here?
Other than we mentioned, I'm trying to think. For an item, I don't know. I mean, it wouldn't turn people into like, it wouldn't change their form or anything. But I think the spider magnet, if they could somehow include that as an item, and maybe allow characters to walk on walls and ceilings and whatnot, like that would be cool. That's something I realized I have on my notes that I didn't mention. Yeah, I would be down for that. Maybe the spider magnet. Though it's not like that is from Dread, but I guess it's not as iconic as like the flash shift or anything like that. But that might be a cool addition. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that could be maybe dependent on the stage too. Like maybe if you get that item, there's some spider tracks in the E.M.M.I zone stage or something. Yeah, I don't know. I think that like Smash has gotten so like intricate and complex that like almost anything is possible now. Like certainly there's more available options than there were, when we were talking about what could happen in Smash Bros. Brawl or even Smash 4. So as much as we've thrown out some maybe unorthodox ideas here, I actually have like pretty good faith that like if they want to do something in Smash, they can almost make anything happen at this point.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that's been the case since the Melee days. They made Captain Falcon a character, and before that, and still to this point, he's never left his ship in his own games. And they gave him a whole, an entire moveset for a character that you can't fight with, and they've done that for a bunch of characters too. So there's anything is possible in Smash, right? That's kind of one of the beautiful parts of it, and they could certainly get really creative with what Dread has had to bring to the table.
Well, there it is. We want to know what you would put in from Metroid Dread in the next Smash game. Let us know if you agree with what we picked and if we missed anything. And make sure that you are tuning in March 3rd for that Omega Metroid Direct. There's going to be a lot of cool stuff there, including, as we mentioned at the top of the show, we're putting something together that can hopefully benefit a few people down the road. So that's going to be announced during the Direct. So yeah, lots of good stuff to come. But for now, we are going to get out of here. We are out of time. So we want to encourage everybody to head on over to Twitter. Give us a follow at Omega Metroid Pod, at Spateri316, and at DaxCity_. And check us out over on Podbean, iTunes, Spot. You know the drill. Wherever you get your podcast, like and subscribe. Recommend us to that Metroid fan in your life. That's it, everybody. We are out of here, and we will see you March 3rd for the Omega Direct. Until then, take care.